My name is Simeon. I'm from Kogi State. I'm the program coordinator for HalHad Foundation.
My name is Rukkaiyat Hussein. I'm from Borno State, HR for HalHad Foundation.
I think in today's society, the importance of women empowerment cannot be overemphasized because women play a very crucial role in our society, starting from childbearing to upbringing, to follow up to every stage of human processes. The importance of women is valued and needed. For instance, I'm going to use myself as an example in this discussion here. We lost my dad when I was less than 10 years old. And from that period, we lost my dad. It has been my mom that has been helping us. I was raised by a single mother from primary school, from nursery, in fact, I would say from crèche to my university days. Currently, I'm doing a master's program, and she has been in my life in every step of the way, in everything we do, everything, every decision we are making. She's always providing guidance. And this is a woman that has gone through a lot to make herself who she is today. She's an entrepreneur, and she may not be very flamboyantly rich, but she's doing well for herself because having to raise two sons. My younger brother is a lawyer, and then I'm a lot of things. I'm a lot of things, to be honest. And to be honest with you, I don't think I will be here today. I'll probably be maybe a father or grandpa now in the village. But my mom made sure that we have that education. We have what we need to be where we are today. So I feel if my mom was empowered to a certain degree, she would have done more. So imagine there are so many women on the street today that cannot afford a lot of things. They have so many ideas, so many ways they want to bring their children. They want to send their children to school. They want to do a lot of things for them. But they cannot do these things because they don't have the things that they need to do it. So I believe in today's society, if women are empowered, there is nothing that cannot be done. If you can, do you know the importance of women can also be attributed to insecurity we're experiencing in this country today? Because if I feel like a child that is brought up in a well-groomed home, it reduces the rate at which they misbehave when they go out there, or the way another person can influence their behavior. I'm sure my colleague have a lot to say about that.
Okay, so we live in a society where women have to do ×5 of what a man has to do before their voices can be heard. So you can imagine if a woman is not educated, is going to be, I don't know, I don't even have the word for it, because women are wallowing in illiteracy every blessed day, and it's not something to be proud of. Now, me and my colleague share a similar story because I also grew up with a single mom, and so I know what it's like to have a woman who is like the forerunner of a home. So there was a time I was imagining, and I asked myself, if my mom was not educated, I don't know what would have become of me and my brother, because it could have been, I don't know, honestly, because it's not something I want to even imagine or think about. So my mom was educated, and she made sure that she pursued her education even while she was working, just so that she could add more qualifications. And so because of that, she was able to carry the home, do all the necessary things that she was supposed to do as a mother. And this also goes to show that if a woman is educated, even the children turn out to be right, even though sometimes it doesn't always go that way. But if a woman is educated, you also know what you inculcate in your children.
That's true.
If you're not, I don't know what, you can't give what you don't have. Okay. So as women, we run the home every blessed day. I don't know if you've come across women that are like their husband's managers, running the company. So education is very important for a woman, especially in this side of the world, Africa as a whole. If a woman is educated, like when the regular saying that when you educate a woman, you educate a nation, is not a joke. If one woman is educated, it's almost like the whole nation is educated, because when a woman is in high places, you will know. Well, leadership, like the name implies, is basically leading while others will follow. So as a woman, I feel every woman is a leader. whether she's in a political position, in an office, or any other environment. Every woman is a leader, because running the home alone is you leading. Yes, the husband is the head of the home. He provides all the money. But if the wife is not taking charge, I promise you the home is going to be in shambles. So leadership, every woman is a leader, because leadership is not just when you hold like a position. That's when we'll say that, okay, you're a leader. You lead in every single capacity. You lead in your home, you lead in your workplace, you lead in school, you lead in different places. I don't have much to say on this because I feel every woman is a leader. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with what she said. Truth of the matter is that it's just in modern days now that a lot of women or a lot of young ladies have missed their place of value when it comes to leadership. There is no home without a woman's leadership.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot take the place of leadership from a woman.
Absolutely.
When you keep a woman, you cannot separate a woman and leadership. They goes out hand in hand. You know, right from the one, if you even see from the home setting, women are taught from childhood to take responsibility.
Yeah.
You understand? Let's say, I'm talking about home management now, home economics. Women are taught home economics first, even before the male child.
Yeah.
Now, if you see in most homes, they say behind every successful man is a woman. You understand? Now, for you to know that when it comes to leadership, take the statistics of the women that are holding leadership position in this country. Check their performance against the men. Some of the Nigerian women that are taking international position, international leadership, see their performance as against the men. Women are breaking ground when it comes to sciences, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to economics. In fact, most banks in Nigeria today, it has become a trend.
Yeah.
All the CEOs, the group are women now.
Yeah.
That is because you cannot take the place of woman in leadership.
Yeah.
You get so long as you want your home to grow, they say the man is the head. You understand? But the head cannot function without the neck.
Of
so
course.
You need the woman. The woman, they need to be empowered. They need to be trained. They need to be nurtured to take that leadership position.
Yeah.
That is why at HalHad Foundation, we want to make sure that children from primary, our first outreach was carried out in a girls' school to ensure that they receive this value, what they need to understand the importance of a woman. This foundation is founded by a woman.
Yeah.
She single-handedly founded every program that has been going on in this foundation. So yes, the women leadership is amazing. I mean, I'm not saying it because I was raised by a mother. Some people will tell you he's a mommy's boy. No, it's not. I'm not talking from that perspective. I mean, I'm talking based on statistics and facts.
Yeah.
Things that we've seen in our society today. So yes, I agree with her. Okay, when you talk about women in decision making, I will tell you that a lot of things will change. For instance, now, if you check our political landscape in Nigeria, most of the positions are occupied by men. And it has been the same story for over 2 generations now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this to incite any political dialogue or anything, but I'm just saying it statistically. From what we've seen, if you see, there was a time Okonjo-Iweala was a minister of finance in Nigeria. Nigeria economy thrived. We even went as far as becoming the best economy in Africa. You understand? When women take charge in most places, there is always a turnaround. For me, I'm not saying that the place of a man is overestimated, but the place of a woman cannot be underestimated rather, because they all play a very, very vital role. In most homes, I turned out fine because my mother took a leadership role. A lot of young people out there turn out fine because their mother take a leadership role. If you go to most of this advanced and developed society today, most of the men usually end up in jail. Statistically, especially black men, most of the men end up in jail. So their mother have to step in to make sure they become who they are today. I mean, these things are facts, and it's what is going on in our society.
So, HalHad Foundation has not even started when it comes to women empowerment, education for children and women. we're just getting started. In fact, we've not even started with the first chapter of what we planned out for women. So, as you know, the basis of what we do in HalHad Foundation is basically revolves around women. Not that the men are not included, but obviously the women were our center for now is basically more of women, because women go through things that on normal ground are things that a man would not even have to face in anywhere. So HalHad Foundation, we're trying to go to places where governments have not even go to, where even what do you call them, censors, even censors have not reached those kind of places, because you realize that there are people with talent, there are people with potentials in places like that. And so our foundation is trying to fund not just women, children, because children grow up to be, I think it started with the foundation before even going to the women. And so we're trying as much as possible to empower as much women as we can, not just in business, but also in school, not just with skills, but if you don't have the right education, you cannot even take up a skill. Or when you take up a skill, we might not know how to manage it if you're not educated. So HalHad Foundation, really, we're trying to put out a plan where we can empower as much women as we can. Because when there are more women in positions, seriously, there's going to be a much difference from what we see. Because, men are always hard-hearted and all of that. Even though, some people can argue with me and say men are soft-hearted. But yes, men are hard-hearted. And then when you have women in positions, you can have them, women are soft. Right. So sometimes, a woman can just feel another person's pain and want to, okay, let me take this up, let me do this. That's where HalHad Foundation wants to come in. We want to be able to empower women, to see them in positions where they could take up responsibility, where they could be help to their community. And at the end of the day, the credit is not just going to come back to HalHad alone. It's going to be a benefit for the whole nation. Sam, you agree with me on that?
Yes. To collaborate with what she said, I feel there are so many things that before I go further, I want to make it very clear. We, as a foundation, we are not just out there. Before somebody will say, they are just talking about women. I mean, it's a foundation, and we're all about, empowerment and sustainable development. Now, the thing is that when we talk about women, the society is deeply rooted in the woman power. In our modern society now. Because now, one of our programs that is coming up very soon, it's single-handedly being handled by the founder and CEO of this foundation. She Rises. It's not talking about just a woman. Because a society when a woman is empowered and abled, trust me, that society always turn out right. A lot of, there's when you talk about infrastructure, you talk about development, you talk about culture and value. These things are often taught by the mothers.
Of course.
You understand? So the programs around HalHad Foundation is rooted in the love for humanity and empowering women. So we just want to make sure that, everything we are doing, we want to make sure that some mothers, the pain they are going through, they are not going through it alone. Now, recently, I know our mama may not like me sharing this story, like this, but we had a very terrible experience with a mother who dumped her child somewhere. I don't know what her intention is. We don't even know what it's very funny, because we often see mothers as heroes, but that one became a nightmare to her children. You understand? But the thing is that despite everything, the CEO of the foundation stepped in. She was in Abuja and this person is in Lagos. You understand? She's stepping in to make sure that the girl was well taken care of. And today she's healthy. Now the problem is that this woman is not because she doesn't love that child. No, but she lacks the ability and the love needed for her. Sometimes, even in our society now, we often interpret love and in terms of funds and all that. A lot of mothers raise their children without money.
Yes.
Most of our grandmothers did not have the kind of facilities or the amenities that we have now,
or the
exposure that we have now. You understand? But they raise their children, and you discover that our mothers every time I want to go and see my mother, every time they are sending this to their mother.
Yeah.
You understand? In fact, in most places, you cannot even, as their children, you cannot even take the place of their mothers. You understand? That is because the woman came out to say, this is how I want to raise my child.
Yeah.
You understand? So when women are being taught, women are being nurtured how to nurse a home, they will know how to pilot the affairs of the society. Because trust me, the importance of women to us as a foundation, as a society, it's beyond what we are seeing today.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say. Empowerment to HalHad Foundation means transformation.
Yeah.
Changing life, turning stories around.
Yeah.
Empowerment to us means we hear you and we are here for you.
Yes.
You understand? The foundation entirely, it means HalHad Foundation for Empowerment and Sustainable Development. The foundation does not just empower you, they follow you up. They nurture you to make sure that everything that you are doing, every activities, from the day we made our contacts, to the point where you are now giving testimony about HalHad Foundation, we will always be there. From grassroots, from incubation to every stage that is in. So that is why when it comes to empowerment, the foundation does not joke with it, because our nation today is going through a lot of weak economy and lack of infrastructure. And when we talk about infrastructure, some people will think they are talking about buildings and all that. Infrastructure come in different ways. Empowerment could be education. When a society empowers, when a society pay attention to what the people are doing, there seems to be a transformation in that society. And that is why at HalHad Foundation, we don't play when it comes to empowerment. We empower women, we empower youths, we empower underserved communities. We empower people, even people that need health, that are having health challenges. So the scale or the scope of HalHad Foundation empowerment have no limit. We go beyond and above to meet this standard, and that is what we're all about.
Just to add to what he said, we don't just empower people, we follow up. And trust me, there are so many things that even that we do that does not even make it to social media. We're not just for cloud chasing. We don't do that because we want to seek validation from people. We're doing it because we love humanity and we just want to cater for the less privileged. And so when we want to empower, we go all in. We follow up, like he said, every single thing, every single point that he made is what we do and more. And when I want to talk about mental health, honestly, mental health is a topic that is very, very delicate and crucial. And I feel people need to talk about it more because there are so many times where mental health issue will come up and people will just throw it off like it's not one serious something. When you tell people you're going through something, people just look at you like, what are you going through? You're just hungry, you don't have money or something. But it goes way beyond that. There are so many things around us that can push us into depression, literally. And it's not just money. It's not just the fact that, okay, you don't have money and the next thing you're depressed. No. You can have money, you can have all the good things of life and still be battling with mental health.
That's true.
Now, mental health is also a very crucial topic for us as a foundation, because we feel is a topic that people usually ignore. It's a topic that people don't even want to talk about. People, when you mention mental health, everybody's running away. That's why we're embracing it, because a lot of people are going through things. People are depressed. People are committing suicide every single day. There's one statistics that was released, I think it was early this year, of the number of people that committed suicide in Nigeria every single day. I think is it per month or single day. And you ask yourself, this life is so sweet, why are you killing yourself? Is beyond that. And so as a foundation, we decided to take it upon ourselves, not just to empower, but also to carry the mental health issue, because it's not discussed enough.
It's not.
It's not. And we're not just doing this as a team alone. We also invite medical practitioners to talk about these and so many other things. So as a foundation, we take these things very seriously.
Yeah, and to add to what she said there, a healthy community is a wholesome society. When, if people are not mentally stable, you discover that a lot of things can go wrong in that society.
Yeah,
now, if you check the statistics of the people that are committing this suicide, trust me, a lot of them are well-to-do.
Yeah.
You understand? And when this issue of mental health, there's a study in India recently that shows the number of people that take their own life due to some issues, and not to talk about the economic impact it has on the society.
Yeah.
Because when people are not mentally
stable or strong,
it reduces their productivity.
Very.
You understand?
Yeah.
If let's say somebody comes to work, this person is usually productive, and then they come, they are looking dull in the meeting, they are not saying anything. So as a foundation, we want to make sure that people are not just empowered, because the foundation is all about mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely.
We want to pay attention to your mind.
Yeah.
We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what is wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you are in pain, the foundation wants to be there for you.
Yes.
I mean, we have, it's just that sometimes it's not good to be posting some information online.
Of course.
But this foundation, individually, we have encountered some people that were able to help.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's really very important. Yes.
And that's why I said we're not social media foundation.
No,
so many good things that we do not even make it to social media. We're not all about cloud chasing. We are doing this for the love of humanity, and we just want to see a society that is thriving. So yeah. Yes. Very important. I feel every woman should be able to have her own money. Now, nobody should bring feminism here. We're not talking about that. But as a woman, when you have your money, it is very important. It stops you from taking a lot of things from the other gender. And not just that, when you have your money as a woman to train, sometimes when you don't have your money as a woman, you have to wait for your husband, your spouse, or whoever to do things for you. It becomes a problem, because gone are the days when a man would tell you, no, I don't want you to work, just stay and take care of the home. No, every man wants a helper right now. And if you realize in our society, women that are not making their money are doing things, so many unspeakable things for money. And you ask yourself, why are you doing this? If you're making your money, I'm sure there are so many things that you're taking now that you will not take if you have your money. So having money for a woman, I don't think is even a matter of choice at this point. Because before they would say, okay, if you want to work, you work. If you don't want to work, no. I'm sorry. You don't have a choice at this point. You just have to make your money. You have to have your own money. When you have your money, you have a voice.
Yeah.
Because when you have your money, you have a voice. Right. With your money as a woman, you walk into a space where men are dominating, and then you walk in as a woman with your money, you go in, you speak, and your voice will be heard.
That's right.
But if you don't have that money, I'm sorry, my dear, you're going to be in the other room. And that's where you're going to stay. I just have to make it I have to bring it down to that level, because I want to tell our women that is very important for you as a woman to make your money. And I'm sorry if you're seeing these other women in other high places and you're thinking you're not doing enough. Start with that small granite that you're selling. Start with the small hairstyling, the small nail that you're making. If you think, just start somewhere. You cannot just wake up and just think that you're going to see yourself in a mansion or you're going to start driving cars. You have to start from somewhere, and that somewhere, as you're doing this, also get an education, because they work both ways. So just start from somewhere. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what your environment looks like right now. It doesn't matter whether your house is aesthetically pleasing or not. Just start from somewhere. And one day you're going to make that change, and you're going to be a woman that your children. So if you're not even looking at the society, look at the children that you're going to give birth to. Look at the children that come out of you, children that will look up to you. So it's very important for a woman to become money.
Yeah, and in addition to what she said there, she explained it in a very layman's way, but I think it's very important. We've been talking about empowerment since. We've been talking about the importance, the value of mothers in our lives. But these people did not just do this thing with sand in their hand. They had substance.
Yes.
And oftentimes this substance comes from their own input.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, in this generation now, this is social and information technology age now.
Yeah.
We're talking about social inclusion. Why do you talk about social inclusion in this place when you do not have a stake? You understand? So women, women, a lot of them, if you check recently, although ill-gotten, but women are trying to change that narrative now. I mean, that landscape of, okay, the man have to be the head, he must be the single sole provider. No, a lot of homes now, a lot of things have been done on an equal part.
Yes, equal.
And then the another thing again is that there's another part of society that is trying to teach young women otherwise. But one thing we try to do in HalHad Foundation is to ensure that you get the right information.
Yes.
And then you're not just getting it from people that, motivational speakers.
Yeah.
We're talking about pragmatic, testimonies from women. Like I said, this foundation is founded by a woman.
Yeah.
Funding the foundation activities up to this very point. No single donor.
Yeah.
Till now. And the foundation have done a lot of outreach.
A lot
of empowerment.
Yeah.
You understand? So all these things come into play. We cannot say that, okay, woman must not have her money.
Yeah.
It is Bible said God creates man to be a man's helpmate. You understand? Not a burden. So a woman the woman offers so many help.
Yeah.
And then so that's what I have to say. It's very important for a woman to make
very important. At this point, it's not even a choice anymore. Culture has hindered so many women from achieving their goals or to be who they want to be, because we can't, in this side of the country, I think in Nigeria, we have like 770 something local governments. Yeah. And in a state, I think Adamawa in the whole of Nigeria has like the highest number of languages and different local governments. So you can imagine the difference in cultural backgrounds, way of life, lifestyle, and all of that. And so, yes, a lot of times a woman can grow up in a certain environment where she's not even allowed to go to school. She's not even allowed to do anything because her place is supposed to be at home to take care of the children and her husband, and that's it. And so that's why when you look at it, the past generation is now that most of these things are being admonished. But if you look at the past generations, most of our grandmothers, they just get married and give birth, and that's it. That's their life, literally taking care of their husbands. Nothing more to eat, nothing more to that. And so if we have more neutral ground when it comes to culture, it's going to stop a lot of these things, because yes, culture hinders a lot of things. In fact, there's some culture that a woman cannot even talk when a man is talking. Yes. There are some cultures like that in Nigeria. I don't have to mention names, but I'm very sure that there are cultures that if a man is talking, a woman cannot talk. In fact, there are some cultures that if a man is sitting on a chair, you have to sit on the floor. And so you can imagine in places like this, how would a woman even be educated? How will you even go to school? The moment you want to try and be different, they will say you're an outcast, or they will want to say you're stubborn and they want to cast you out of the community, or you might not even see your husband because no man will want to marry you because they say you're stubborn and you're not listening. So for example, our founder had one experience with somebody where she wanted to further education, and he was like, you don't need it. Like, what do you need education for as a woman? You're just supposed to get married and go and stay in your husband's house. So you can imagine this kind of mentality. And some of this mentality always starts from culture. This is where I come from. We don't do this. Where I come from, women don't do. I don't know if you've not heard this before. You've heard men say this. Where I come from, women don't have the right to say this. Where I come from. So you can imagine what culture can do to women. What culture can go as far as stopping. I don't even know how to explain this, because if I want to use the whole words that I have in my mouth to say this, is not enough. Because culture is a big barrier to women's empowerment, women's education, everything.
To add to what you say there, when it comes to culture has plays a very crucial role when it comes to limiting women's ability to attain some certain position. Like you said, not just culture, even religion too.
Yes, religion.
You see this particular topic, if we want to dive into it, it's going to cause what we call a problematic discourse. Because so many people are going to come up with so many ideas. There are some cultures that women cannot lead. There are some societies that women cannot lead.
Till
the
today.
fact that you are a woman, automatically you have lost that position.
It's still happening.
If you are in a royal family and then the man cannot generate a heir, automatically that position has left his lineage to another people that have sons.
Or they might go as far as giving you option to marry, and then the man that you marry, who is from another family, who is not even from a royal family, will now take over. So you can imagine things like this.
So that's what we face. Culture has a very, very vital role to play. And it's the same culture now that can change this narrative. And that is why, as an organization, we want to see how we can be a part of this history. You know, of work to make social inclusion more important. How women can be seen as equal. You understand? I mean, biologically, there are so many things that God have made distinctively clear. But come on now, in a society that is developed, a society that is very vast, women are often even underlooked for some certain positions because they are women. You understand? So yes, it is.
And we're not even trying to compete with the men, really. We're not. We just want to be heard. We just want to be given a room to express ourselves and to be who we want to be. Basically, that's just what we want. And that's what this foundation is trying to give to the society. Really, we just want a situation. We're not empowering these women to stand up to men or say, okay, now I'm now the head of the house because I'm educated or I'm skilled. We're doing this because we want you to know that as a woman, you have potentials. And so we just want you to realize your worth and know who you are as a woman. That's it. This is going to be on a continuum. It's not going to be a one-time thing. This foundation, we are not content creators. We're not
so we are all about impact. We're all about adding value. And then we are going to be bringing a lot of topics are going to be discussed here. And then talking about empowerment, women empowerment, the place of men in governance and political positions. We're going to be talking about maternal health. We are going to be talking about women health entirely. We are going to talk about so many things: drug abuse, mental health,
even things that on a normal ground people will not even want to talk about. We'll try as much as possible to be as blunt as we can, so that this message will get to the right people, and so that people will be able to understand that HalHad, we're not just under one roof, where we're diverse. We want to do everything. We're touching everywhere. So
we're all about where humanity meets possibility. And that is why we are here.
Absolutely. I'm very sure that you love what you see and you want to continue to see more of this episode, because like I said, we're going to touch every area. So you're just going to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not subscribed. If you're here for the first time, you're welcome. This is HalHad Foundation, and we're going to be coming up with so many topics. And so just subscribe and make sure you hit on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we drop a new video. Make sure you share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Make it go viral, guys. See you on our next episode. From me and Sam, we're saying
thank you.
Bye, y'all.